Let's keep this simple. Too many times, Survivor players get voted off or eliminated right before Final Tribal Council, where they were likely to win the $1 million prize, but they get robbed. They play a great game just to get kicked in the face at the 1 yard line. This list is some of these players in no particular order who were robbed, and I would love for you to comment some more people I should include next time. Okay, now with that, starting with Season 16 Micronesia, we see Cirie Fields, likely the player that most fans thought of when they saw the title of this video, as Cirie played a cutthroat game of Survivor while aligning herself with the Black Widow Brigade and being a big part of tricking Eric into giving up the necklace at Final 5, but no one on the jury was mad at her. Don't get me wrong, I can't say she was 100% locked to win in a Final 3 versus Amanda and Parvati, but boy oh boy did she have a great shot. Here's the thing, back in Season 13, a few seasons before this one, Survivor changed their format from being a Final 2 into being a Final 3, opening the door, theoretically, to more players having a chance to win. Everyone this season operated under that assumption, but then again, the show did not anticipate 3 players being removed due to medical evacuations or simply quitting, 3 eliminations that were completely unplanned. So come Final 3 this season.
Congratulations, Final 3. Today you will honor their memories before proceeding to your final immunity challenge. Get into your boat and head out to Exile Island. My heart just dropped.
It's like, when is it gonna end, you know? Like, there's only so much you can take, and then someone has to leave now, like, after everything. I am so tight with these girls, like, this just sucks completely.
Yep, a surprise Final 2. I mean, it shouldn't have been a massive surprise given that the Final 5 vote out was on day 36 and the Final 4 vote out was on day 37. Like, duh, there's gonna be another vote out on day 38. But still a surprise if you're planning on a Final 3 from the very beginning. But all is not lost for Cirie, as this note alone does not do her in. She could win immunity, which requires steady hands.
This challenge is officially on. The slightest lapse in concentration, and you will be out of this challenge. Parvati drops her ball. Parvati's the first person out of this challenge. We're now down to Cirie and Amanda. This is the final round of this challenge. Cirie loses her concentration. Amanda wins final immunity and is guaranteed a spot at the Final Tribal Council.
Season 23 features a twist that really enhances the rootability of these fallen Survivor angels, Redemption Island. This allows a player who is voted out to come back into the game by winning one-on-one duels. Ozzy of Season 23 was voted out once on purpose, it's a long story, eliminated the competition, re-entered the game, voted out not on purpose a second time because an ally flipped on him to join the Cult Alliance, and then fought tooth and nail through every single duel in the post-merge to re-enter the game at the Final 5. It is him versus the world. Sure, Ozzy was arrogant this season, but his underdog status combined with a favorable edit and the jury pretty much all rooting for him to win over an alliance utilizing religion as a weapon makes Ozzy the clear fan favorite to win. So at the Final 5 immunity challenge.
This challenge is on. Ozzy is now in the lead. Sophie trying a new strategy and is quickly gaining on Ozzy again.
Hey Albert, drop your stack and come pick up my pieces.
I'm in a pretty decent spot right now. Hold on.
Drop your damn stack and pick up my pieces. I'm gonna beat you.
I gotta. All right.
Albert, just drop your stack.
Let me make it easy for you. There is no helping in this challenge. It was designed as an individual challenge. It'll be played as an individual challenge. If you want Ozzy out of this game, beat him. Ozzy wins immunity. You are safe tonight at Tribal Council. After 37 days, Coach, Rick, Sophie, Albert, one of you from this tight group of 4 going home tonight.
Oh, you see how bad they want him out. Only one immunity challenge left and Ozzy reaches the Final 3 and essentially clean sweeps the jury. I mean, on Ponderosa, everyone on the jury, minus the one guy who flipped on Ozzy earlier, is like, oh yeah, Ozzy, I want him to win, he's the best. But you read the title of this video, you know better. Despite single-handedly eliminating 9 people this season, Ozzy's luck runs out and the Cult Alliance wins.
Ozzy with a huge lead. Do not panic, you will have time. Anybody can win this challenge still. Sophie has her first piece of the puzzle. Ozzy had a huge lead and it is gone. Sophie has her fourth piece of the puzzle. Sophie wins final immunity! This guarantees you a spot at the final tribal council.
You can pick what videos I make. Patreon is the place to do that, as the paid patrons pick what I make every month. There is also a free tier if you want to test out the site first. Plus, all paid patrons get to watch everything up to 6 months early. If you are interested, then there's a link in the description. Now with that, the only new / budget era season to crack this list is Survivor 43 with Jesse. Does he have a lot of charisma? Not in my opinion. Is he a cutthroat player who is able to get away with his massive game moves by being super chill and calm? Absolutely. Jesse is ruthless. People hand him idols to hold until they get out of tribal council and he just votes them out. Oh yeah. He then plays said stolen idol and blows the jury away. He backstabs his #1 friend and ally, and guess what? That friend still shakes his hand despite the complete devastation. Jesse played a game so impressive and amazing, it was clear as day that if he reached the final 3, he was gonna win. Except there's one little problem. Ever since season 35, Survivor has decided that there's no more voting come final 4. They don't want people like Ozzy to lose at the final 4 like he did in the season we just talked about. So they implemented a new game mechanic. Final 4 is always fire making. You win, you stay, you lose, and you are eliminated. Everyone knows Jesse is the clear favorite to win it all. So come the final 4 fire making challenge.
Begin. This is it. Both players prepping. Gabler's the first to get flame. Both guys have flame. Jesse nurturing a little flame. Gabler adding more sticks. He's got a decent fire going. Jesse now's got a little something going. He's in it. Gabler's is high and strong.
Fireman!
There it is! Gabler makes fire.
Played a hell of a game. Be proud of yourself. I'm proud of you. Proud of you, dude.
Jesse, Travis spoke.
All the way back in season 1, we see Rudy, the ex-Navy SEAL, who started the season homophobic but quickly became good friends with Richard Hatch, not in a homosexual way, that's for sure, and won the hearts of America as he said what he meant and meant what he said. And what he said was a lot of the funniest things you'll ever hear with the most deadpan expression, and quickly learned how to adapt to a group of people that was largely 30 to 40 years younger than him.
I was big mouthing the whole time coming over here about being with homosexuals and lesbians. So I found out last night, you know. When he came up here, he said, you want to talk? I said, no, I don't want to talk. And he was going to tell me he was queer then. The homosexual, he's one of the nicest guys I ever met. And he's good at what he does, you know. He's got leadership ability. But anyway, me and Richard got to be pretty good friends. Not in a homosexual way, that's for sure.
So the lovable curmudgeon joins the powerful Toggy Alliance, steamrolls all of Pagong, and no one blames him. In fact, people love him. All of the ire is thrown on Richard, Kelly, and Sue in that order. No one knocks Rudy at all. They say he's rude sometimes, but in the end, Rudy wins them over. So come final 3, it's do or die. Richard Hatch loses immunity on purpose, knowing Rudy and Kelly will take him to the final 3. So
He took his hand off.
There you go. 5 in a row. That's a record.
Season 29 sees the beloved Keith Nail embody the silliness and fun of Rudy so many years later. Heck, Keith seems to have even less of an idea how to play Survivor than Rudy, and Rudy was on season 1. Was he a lock to win come final 3 like Rudy? It's hard to say, but it is clear that Keith Nail was by far the fan favorite to win this season for those watching from home. This is the same guy who basically flew solo all game and was the underdog. But who could forget his fun relationship with his son, who drops out of immunity challenges for chicken wings, and because of that...
Thank you. This is a hidden immunity idol. Any votes cast for John will not count.
You play it.
This too is a hidden immunity idol. Any votes cast for Keith will not count. First vote. John does not count. John does not count. John does not count. John does not count. Keith does not count. Keith does not count. Keith, nobody with any vote. 9th person voted out and the 3rd member of our jury. Wes, you need to bring me your torch. Wes, the tribe has spoken.
Sure, Keith inadvertently voted out his own son by playing an idol for himself. Who hasn't done that? But Keith wins 3 individual immunity challenges and plays the aw shucks role perfectly. That is until the Final 4 immunity challenge, where the women have their eye on knocking him out.
Yeah! Jacqueline wins individual immunity, guaranteed a spot in the final 3.
14th person voted out and the 8th and final member of our jury. Keith, the tribe has spoken.
It's a lifetime. It's in the top 5 anyway. It's my wife, my first boy, my second boy, and then probably this.
Season 4 brings us Kathy, the next player on this list. You see, Nalia and Vesepia are not well respected by the jury, but Kathy, against either of them, wins. Kathy started the season a hot mess, and by the end she became a smart, savvy Survivor player who made some well-timed moves and did it all without burning bridges with those being voted out. She even survives the infamous purple rock draw, which caused a shockwave in the Survivor community, as the show made it clear that tie votes will not be tolerated. So come the final 3 immunity challenge.
Watch your flaps.
Showing the jewels. I'll give you immunity. I'll drop off if you take me.
I'm fine with that.
I know Nalia didn't do it on purpose, but that comment from her 100% knocked Kathy out of this game. Dang. Season 12 saw Terry Dietz be a one-man wrecking crew versus the entirety of the Kasaya Alliance. Terry found the super idol in a matter of mere minutes, it seemed like, on Exile Island, and when his tribe reached the merge, down 6-4, the other 3 teammates were knocked out in succession, but Terry survived, not even needing the super idol for a long time, as he won immunity after immunity after immunity 5 in a row, just absolutely infuriating the dominant Kasaya Alliance. Now, he did lose the Final 4 immunity challenge, but he had the super idol, so no one even dared to try to vote him off. But then comes the final 3. Super idol no longer works. He has to win immunity to win this game.
Terry cannot hang on. All right, he's out of the challenge. Danielle wins immunity.
Those platforms were not adjusted to each player's size at all, so it was obvious that Danielle was gonna win, being smaller than Terry. That immunity challenge was the straw that broke the Survivor camel's back, as the very next season, they introduced the new Final 3 format and made sure any balancing challenge had the platforms adjusted to fit the players. In fact, they made a show of it and pointed it out during season 13, the very next season. Season 19 may seem kind of crazy, but let me explain. Unlike everyone else on this list, CGI Brett was not a fan favorite. We hardly knew the guy. But here's the thing, the jury for this season as of the final 4 is 7 Galoo, aka Brett's old tribe, and 1 Foa Foa. The numbers are so heavily in CGI Brett's favor that it isn't even funny. He is nice, kind, and a challenge beast, but the story has not really cared about him at all until, like, I don't know, the final 7 or 8. Russell Hantz is furious at Brett's existence, and Brett, he's just like chilling.
We have to get rid of Brett. You know, Brett's won 2 individual immunities. He could possibly win the last 2, but what's 2 immunities? If Jason can win 2 in a row, anybody can win 2 in a row. That means absolutely nothing to me. So you telling me he's all of a sudden Superman because he wins 2? He's not some superstar to me. You start thinking that, you start getting weak in the mind, thinking you can't beat him like you're stepping in the ring with Mike Tyson. He's no Mike Tyson. He's Brett.
Brett has it. Brett wins immunity.
For the 3rd time in a row, Brett wins individual immunity.
The jury is anti-Russell Hantz and pro almost anyone else, especially their boy Brett, who's the last remaining Glue member. If Brett won this season, the storytelling would have had to focus more on him, but because he doesn't, they don't really focus on him, so he's basically invisible to us, and we're like, who is Brett? When they start talking about Brett being a big threat, like, what? Brett? Who is that? Hence the joke of CGI Brett. It seems like he was CGI'd into the show later. Like, was he a real person who was really there? I don't know. But unfortunately, come the Final 4 immunity challenge,
This challenge is on. Mick is the first one out of the challenge. Natalie's now out of the challenge. We're down to 2. falls off, Russell wins the final individual immunity challenge.
So what survivors reached the end of the game but got robbed going to Final Tribal Council to win it all? Comment below and let me know. Thank you for watching, and doubly thanks for liking and subscribing. I'll see you all next time.